Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Jelly Roll concert turns into security guard quitting after outrage. The night was supposed to be filled with nothing but music, cheers, and unforgettable memories. Fans of Jelly Roll, the country rap sensation who has won over millions with his raw honesty and emotional storytelling, packed into the arena, clutching tickets and excitement like golden treasures. The stage glowed with neon lights, the bass rattled through the air, and every heart was beating in rhythm with anticipation. But amid the booming beats and the flashing lights, a different story was unfolding. One that had nothing to do with melodies and everything to do with human dignity. By the end of the night, the concert would go viral not just for Jelly Roll's performance, but because a security guard walked away from his post in outrage, leaving fans stunned and the internet buzzing. The opening atmosphere, it was a human evening, and the venue had been sold out for weeks. Jelly Roll's fans, ranging from bikers with tattoos to teenagers with glow sticks, crowded shoulder to shoulder, united by one thing: love for the man whose songs had carried them through heartbreak, addiction, recovery, and redemption. As the lights dimmed and Jelly Roll's voice rose like thunder, the crowd erupted. Phones shot into the air. Couples swayed arm in arm. Strangers hugged each other during the chorus of Save Me. It was a communion of souls. But down near the barricades, where the pit collided with the front row, trouble brewed. The spark of tension: Michael, a 38-year-old security guard with 10 years of experience working concerts, stood at his assigned spot. To him, this was just another shift. Watch for crowd surfers, prevent fights, keep everyone safe. He'd seen it all before: rowdy drunks at rock shows, screaming teenagers at pop concerts, and even the occasional celebrity meltdown. But Jelly Roll's crowd was different. They weren't just fans. They were family. They knew every lyric, and many carried their own scars that mirrored Jelly Roll's lyrics. For them, this wasn't just a concert, it was a release. As Jelly Roll sang Son of a Sinner, a young woman tried to climb over the barricade, tears streaming down her face. Michael instinctively blocked her, following protocol. Fans weren't allowed on stage, but the woman begged. "Please," she shouted, voice breaking. "I need to give him this letter. He saved my life." Michael stood firm. He had heard stories like this before, but rules were rules. He gestured for her to step back. The crowd around her began booing, not at her, but at him. The moment of outrage, the boos grew louder when Jelly Roll himself noticed the commotion. The singer, known for his compassionate heart and connection with fans, paused mid-song. The music stopped. The arena fell into a tense silence. "What's going on down there?" Jelly Roll asked, his gravelly voice echoing across the venue. Spotlights swung toward the barricade. Thousands of eyes landed on Michael, who suddenly felt like the villain of the night. "She's trying to give me something," Jelly Roll said gently. "Let her through." The crowd roared with approval. Michael hesitated. His training screamed at him to say no. But the artist himself had just given an order. Confused, humiliated, and now being heckled by the crowd, Michael stepped aside reluctantly. The woman rushed forward, sobbing, and Jelly Roll hugged her as she handed him the crumpled letter. The arena exploded with applause, but Michael stood frozen, his hands trembling. The breaking point as the show continued, the mood around Michael shifted. Fans jeered whenever he moved. Some shouted insults, others mocked him. "Let people live, man," one yelled. Another laughed, "You're the fun police." Michael's face burned with shame. In 10 years on the job, he had never been singled out like this. He had only been doing his duty, but now, in the eyes of thousands, he was the bad guy. Halfway through the set, Jelly Roll once again stopped the show. "Hey, to all my security brothers and sisters out here, I love y'all. But tonight, let's make sure nobody walks away feeling silenced. This music is about healing." The crowd cheered, but Michael heard something else. Another public rebuke. His chest tightened. He thought of the long nights, the low pay, the constant thanklessness of his job. He thought of how he had missed his son's birthday last month because of a double shift, and now this, being humiliated in front of thousands. Something inside him snapped. Walking away, Michael his radio. He pulled the earpiece from his ear. Slowly, deliberately, he set his security badge on the barricade. The people around him gasped as he stepped back, shook his head, and walked toward the exit. The crowd erupted, some in shock, others in cheers. Phones whipped out to capture the moment. Videos would later circulate online with captions like, "Security guard quits mid-show at Jelly Roll concert." Michael didn't look back. He walked through the maze of hallways, past the concession stands, out into the night air. For the first time in years, he felt free, but also deeply wounded. The aftermath back inside, Jelly Roll finished his set with fire and tears, unaware of the full fallout of what had just happened. Fans would remember the show as one of the most emotional of the tour. But online, another story was gaining traction. Clips of Michael walking away spread across Twitter and Instagram. Some people praised him for standing his ground and refusing to bend under pressure. Others mocked him, saying he couldn't handle the spirit of a Jelly Roll crowd. By morning, hashtags like were trending. Think pieces popped up. When rules clash with empathy and the invisible struggles of concert security. Michael himself remained silent. He turned off his phone, sat in his small apartment, and tried to process what had happened. He thought of his son. He thought of the letter that girl had given Jelly Roll, how maybe it really had saved her life. And he thought of how a job meant to protect people had made him feel like the enemy. Bigger question, the story raised uncomfortable questions. Where is the line between security and compassion? Should rules bend when music is about healing and connection? Or should safety always come first, no matter the emotions at play? Jelly Roll himself later addressed the incident in an Instagram live session. "I love my fans with all my heart," he said. "I know my security team has a tough job, and I don't want anyone feeling disrespected. That brother was just doing his job. But at my shows, if someone's crying out for help, we're gonna answer." The legacy of one night in the end, the night became more than just a concert. It became a story of rules versus humanity, of pride versus compassion, of one man's breaking point in the middle of a sea of voices. Michael may have quit his job, but he sparked a conversation that went far beyond the arena walls. For Jelly Roll fans, it was another reminder that his concerts aren't just shows. They're raw, unpredictable reflections of life itself. And for Michael, it was the night he chose dignity over duty, silence over jeers, and walked away from the music into the quiet unknown. Because sometimes, the loudest moment in the room isn't the music. It's the moment one man decides he's had enough.